Hello, and welcome back to the weekly update. It is December the 6th, and I am out of breath because I've been running all over the house trying to get things finished before the show started. In the middle of putting away dinner leftovers, also in the middle of dealing with laundry. Thankfully, the kids are very helpful. So they're folding laundry as we speak. Whew, and I've been running up and down, and my townhouse is 4 stories tall, so I'm out of breath. Thank you very much, Shell. Yes. Hello, beautiful souls. Please repost out the live, guys. Appreciate each and every one of you who stopped by and hang out with us. First thing you should do, though, is go to the profile, check it out. You can see here, I am a military veteran. I am a single father of 2 wonderful children. I also am a USA first and pretty much USA only patriot at this point. With all the other stuff going on, not really interested in the other things, but if you look, the account right there, United States Android app, that's me. You can also check out our community there, Patriot Dad Family. We're up to 19 members, so I see another person has joined. Thank you very much. We will be doing another long duration fast. We completed, and by we, I mean Shell and myself, completed a 5-day fast. It was actually really good, and I feel very good coming out of it. It's nice to eat again, but health-wise, feel great. One of my favorite things that my kids have told me in the last few days is now pinned in my profile. Guys, if you want it to snow where you are like it did here, this is what you have to do according to my 6-year-old daughter. I think she got this from a kid at school. I don't know where she got this idea, but I caught her telling my son in the back of the car while we were driving, this is how you do it. You got to put on your pajamas backwards. You got to place a spoon under your pillow. You got to put some ice in your toilet, and you got to flush that ice down the toilet. Somehow they did that, and it snowed the next day. Also, school was closed, so they also got out of school. Interesting how that works. But guys, check it out. Go to the profile. Do the thing. You can also check out the website. The website has all the other ways that you can support me. You can buy me a cup of coffee. You can buy a piece of merch. We'll be having a merch meeting tomorrow. I know I said today. Other things came up. We will be having a merch meeting tomorrow. We will get Karen's merch added. We will have my merch, Shell's merch, and Karen's merch all there on their merch store by the end of tomorrow. Also, you can check out Men's Empowerment Network if you're a man going through divorce or custody battles. I can help you. Been through both myself, had very good outcomes with both. So let me help you. Reach out to me. You can find information there at the Men's Empowerment Network website. Also on the Discord, you can also go to Patriot Dad, YouTube, and Rumble channels. Subscribe there. That is a free way to support the channel, and I would appreciate every little bit of support. Let's get started, though, folks. First section is always immigration. This week has been a little more annoying than the other ones. I mean, it's all been annoying, right? Because most of these stories are stories about things that should have never happened in the first place. But we're idiots. Our people that run our country are idiots. They like to do what they can to undermine us. But you know what? It also happens overseas. Right here, you got the Swedish Prime Minister being reported by Mario, has admitted that they have lost control of their migration-fueled crime wave that engulfs their country. 9-year-old Luna left school on her bike for a 10-minute ride home, never arrived. She was dragged into a forest, stripped, beaten, raped, and strangled with her own shoelaces by a 15-year-old Ethiopian migrant. She's now severely brain damaged, wheelchair bound, and spoon-fed by her family. Guys, this should never have happened. But this is happening in Europe because they're inviting these migrants in. You can see here reported rapes in 1975 was 421. That number is now up to 9,300 in 2023, the highest per capita, which Karen and a lot of the people in our audience know how important per capita statistics are, guys. They have the highest rape per capita statistic in all of Europe now. It's not the native-born people, folks. 2/3 of the convicted rapists are recent or second-generation immigrants. Their murder rate is now 30 times that of London and Stockholm. There were 124 bomb explosions in 2024 there in Sweden, guys. If you don't believe in boys and girls playing and swimming together. This is not the country for you. Sweden was the warning. America should listen. Yes, we should, guys. We should be taking note of the damage that's being done to the European cultures because of mass migration. We should take note and we should learn before it gets any worse here. I can't say before it gets bad here because it's already pretty bad here, especially if you live in areas like Dearborn, where you're hearing the call to prayer over speakers in your town. Like it's getting bad already, guys. You also have immigration issues like this one. This was reported before. The head of the Des Moines School District, the superintendent there, was an illegal immigrant from Trinidad and Tobago. He was registered to vote in Maryland. Now, I thought we're always told that, illegals can't register to vote. They can't vote, right? Well, here's an example of at least one proves them wrong. He signed his paperwork under penalty of perjury. So then what now? Do you think there's going to be any accountability? I'm starting to kind of lose hope in accountability in general, which is unfortunate. We really need to start seeing it. If we don't see it soon, things are going to get much, much worse. Because when the citizens of the country start losing faith in the criminal justice system and they don't think there's ever going to be accountability, things are going to get much more dicey very, very fast. And that is not something that I want to see. That is not the country that I want my children growing up in. Let's hope it doesn't get there. But we're getting close. You also got North Carolina Governor Josh Stein posted his sympathies for a 23-year-old illegal alien. The interesting thing that the media is not going to tell you about is that this illegal alien that was detained for deportation entered the country illegally at 14, been in the U.S. for 9 years, graduated from a public high school, didn't know any English. How do you graduate high school without knowing English? And also somehow they bought a home. Do you know how many U.S. citizens are struggling to even afford to rent something right now, let alone buy a home? We have a story coming up in just a few stories about the fact that criminal aliens were being given mortgages by the last administration. So if you're not mad enough already, you're going to probably get just a little bit more upset by that one. Guys, they keep moving the goalposts. First of all, it was no one's illegal. Then it's okay, they're illegal, but they're not receiving any help. Now it's okay, they are doing that, but they aren't taking our jobs. And now it's okay, they're taking jobs, but they don't own homes, but they do. So it's every time they move the goalpost, it gets found out that it's actually worse and that the thing they say isn't happening is already happening. And they know it's happening and they're just gaslighting you. I don't like it. I don't like feeling like I can't trust anything that comes out of the government. It's been decades, guys. The government has been lying to the people for decades. But they've been doing it very openly for at least the last decade. They're allowed to now, right? Obama passed some legislation or signed some legislation into law that basically allows the government to propagandize the people. Not a good change. Mad is an understatement. Yes, Shell, I agree. JD Vance was asked this question in a town hall meeting, guys, at a TPUSA event. I think his response is going to be interesting to watch, so let's check it out.
That hurt us, and these policies are not even solving the problems.
These policies aren't even solving the problems.
Policies are just creating chaos.
No, ma'am. Okay, so again, I'm gonna finish answering the question, and then if I've answered all 9 of your questions in less than 15 minutes, then we can keep on going. We got to have a little fun, right? So here's.
So I don't like some of these videos. The volume is very low. I have my volume slider all the way up, so I apologize. Basically, she's being unreasonable. Coordinated flight refers to a condition in aviation where there is no slip or skid, where Christians lose control. Handle, I don't know if you want to rewrite that one. That's a little confusing. Or if you want to give some context. There is a delay in the stream, so you gotta be aware of that.
Here's the thing.
So if you're gonna post a comment, make sure you post what you're referring to. That would be great.
I can believe that the United States should lower its levels of immigration in the future, while also respecting that there are people who have come here through lawful immigration pathways that have contributed to the country. But just because one person or 10 people or 100 people came in legally and contributed to the United States of America, does that mean that we're thereby committed to let in 1 million or 10 million? Or
No, the answer is no, guys. We are not committed to let in anybody. Anybody that we bring in through legal immigration should absolutely be benefiting the country and be a net positive. Christians are batshit crazy. Want to give me a little more information on that one? I'd like to know how I'm batshit crazy. Interesting. Also, if you want to really participate in the conversation, the people over on X probably can't see your conversation, so most of my audience is over there. So if you want to really engage with the audience, feel free to head on over there. But yeah, guys, legal immigration does not mean that we've got to import millions and millions and millions of people. Guys, we should be able to hand select the people that we want for the industries that we need people in. We should absolutely be able to pick only those that benefit us the most and say no to other people. Yes, very nice handle. I'm not going to respond to you if you're not going to be a productive conversation. So you can keep copy pasting the same thing, but it's not going to help. You got this one, Benny Johnson, Somalia, guys. We definitely don't need to be bringing in anybody from here. If you look just statistically, it's probably not in our best interest. Their inbreeding rates are in excess of 60%. There are tens of thousands of child brides per year being created there. 58% of the population is illiterate. They're exercising mass female genital mutilations. The economy is mostly based on piracy and fraud. Like, they keep saying it's our fault. They keep saying, oh, if only, we would get out of their way, or if only something, they could be this wonderful utopia. Just do it. Sharia law, bloody tribal warfare. Guys, this is not the kind of place that you would, like, if you were going to recruit for, like, let's say a team, you wouldn't go to a country like this and be like, I bet I could find that one person in this country. No, you would just skip over it entirely. So I don't know why we don't do that with our immigration system. Seems like we should. What's up, Karen? Good to see you in the chat. Sorry, I didn't recognize. I saw your comment earlier. It's good to see you. But yeah, guys, we can't keep doing this. We can't keep bringing these people in. It's like, especially with what they're doing over in Minnesota, like the coordinated fraud, the abuse of the system, the abuse of the taxpayer. Nah, no thanks. I'm fine if we bring in none. But Caroline Levitt dropped a hammer on these guys. Let's go ahead and listen to Caroline Levitt. Hopefully this one's a little more audible.
Said, and I quote, leaders also have a duty to preserve the integrity and character of our nation's national identity.
Yes.
Can you explain what you mean by our nation's national identity and integrity and character, and how would refugees, people coming from war-torn places who are...
Okay, guys, for one, refugees... The United States is not the first safe country that a Somali might come to if they are actually fleeing because of war. But if they were actually fleeing war, like we've covered in the past, they wouldn't be taking the money that they get from the U.S. taxpayers and sending it back to Somalia to support organizations like Al-Shabaab that are making it more dangerous in the country. It's a self-propagating problem. And it's being funded by our tax money. We can't keep doing this, guys. And these idiots in the mainstream media that run screen for these people, just get them out of the press pool, please.
seeking a safe haven in America, like many of our forebears in this room, not add to our nation's integrity and character of our national identity?
I'll tell you what does not add to our nation's character and integrity is refugees who come here under the alleged plight of asylum and fleeing persecution, and then come to the United States to abuse our system and rip off American taxpayers. And as I pointed out, the New York Times, to their credit, it was about 6 months too late, but they did write about how Somali immigrants in Minnesota have been ripping off American taxpayers. In fact, 86 people have been charged in a rampant and wide...
Guys, she's going to go through a whole bunch of stuff about how many and how many charges and different charges. The fact that they've committed so much fraud that it's gotten national attention. Like billions of dollars have been stolen from the taxpayers to enrich them. Some of that money is then laundered to politicians, and some of it is being funneled back to Somalia to organizations like Al-Shabaab. Meanwhile, we have veterans that are homeless. We have people that are hungry. We have bridges that are collapsing and falling apart. We have roadways that need maintenance. We have nuclear power that we need to build. We have so many things in this country that money could be better spent on. Or here's a crazy idea. How about we just use some of it to pay down the national debt? That's at $38.5 trillion almost at this point. How about anything except giving more money to NGOs who are going to steal the money and enrich their boards? Meanwhile, passing most of it to, just another organization. We've seen Data Republican, Questionable Gardener, Aladdin, Mike Benz, so many people reporting on that information, thanks to Grumpy Tech Guy and Data Republican's tooling that's available on Data Republican's website. The work of people like California Doge exposing a lot of this stuff. The money is just being taken. It's being taken. It's being laundered. It's being transferred around and around and around. Meanwhile, what are we getting? What is America getting? What are the citizens getting for it? Nothing. I would almost put money on it that half of our national debt or more is entirely money that has been funneled to NGOs. It'd be an interesting thing to dig into, but I bet you it's a significant percentage of the money that we are now in debt for is money that has made it into mansions here in Northern Virginia and McLean and close to Washington, D.C. You got to remember, guys, these counties in and around Washington, D.C. are the wealthiest counties in the nation. That is not because we pay government bureaucrats a lot. That's because we funnel a crap ton of money to NGOs, and that needs to stop. As Gardner here points out in his post, one of the Doge moderators here posted in the Doge community. If you guys aren't a member of the Doge community, go ahead and check it out. Join up. Help them. Use Data Republicans' tools. Help expose things. You can do that work yourself. Former Minnesota DHS employees call out Tim Walz for circumventing the state auditor's findings and in some cases blocking the auditor's office. He disempowered the office of the legislative auditor, allowing agencies to disregard their audit findings and guidance. Here, people are pointing the finger directly at Tim Walz. There's a lot of people pointing the finger at Ilhan Omar and others. Either way, guys, we are just being abused as the general taxpayer, and I don't like it. Not one bit. Here's the follow-up story for this, about where some of that money is actually going.
This rules that led to widespread fraud, and you can see there, balloon in federal payments headed to Minneapolis to north of $100 million in just a few years. 6 of the people charged in that fraud, members of the Somali community. And then perhaps the most egregious and offensive of all, the autism scam, where a woman in the Somali community has been accused of recruiting children for therapy that they did not need, driving a surge in Medicaid claims. Look at the screen. Look at the numbers. Look at the explosion of federal dollars on the backs of fake autism.
Guys, there's enough real autism to now have migrants coming here, opening up fake autism clinics, taking migrant children and convincing them to file fraudulent reports and make Medicare and Medicaid claims. Almost $500 million in 2023. That's in total was over $1 billion in fraud. There are people that actually need help. And when you have people that commit fraud like this, it makes the good people not want to help anybody.
Now, the Times points out all this raises broader questions about the sustainability of Minnesota's not Somalian, but Scandinavian modeled system. That's a robust safety net bankrolled by high taxes. Now, that system created an environment that drew immigrants to the state over many decades, including tens of thousands of Somali refugees after their country descended into civil war in the 1990s. Did Governor Tim Walz have any idea what was happening in his state?
Do you take
That's the real question, guys.
responsibility for failing to stop this fraud in your state?
No.
Well, certainly I take responsibility for putting people in jail. Governors don't get to just talk theoretically. We have to solve problems. And I will.
He takes responsibility for putting people in jail? What?
Note, it's not just Somalis. Minnesota is a generous state. Minnesota is a prosperous state, a well-run state. We're AAA bond rated, but that attracts criminals. Those people are going to jail. We're doing everything we can, but to demonize an entire community on the actions of a few.
Interesting.
It's lazy.
On the actions of a few. Well, but should they be here in general? I mean, look, guys, we went over the statistics of the people in Somalia. Like this is a civil war and a problem that they created. Even if we created it, we probably created it, progressives, so that they could turn around and offer them asylum to import as many people as they could to disrupt the communities, to import voters. You know, the Republicans in the Uniparty love cheap labor. The Democrats in the Uniparty love cheap votes. So the Uniparty has been fighting to get both. It's kind of the way things have been going for the last few decades. And you know what? Americans haven't really benefited from that. Our voice is being silenced. Our resources are being taken. And for what? For what benefit? What benefit to this country? It's probably why after the attack in D.C. by the Afghan migrant that was allowed to come in here by the Biden administration, Trump is now canceling. It started off with 19 countries, citizenship ceremonies, and migration from 19 countries. Well, that number actually has now swollen to 30 countries or more. Here's a little clip. We don't need to play it. It's only 17 seconds long, but it's where Kristi Noem is talking about the fact that now there are in excess of 30 countries on a list. People from 90%, Nick says here, 90% of countries do not benefit us to import people from. And I would agree it's probably even higher than 90. Sure, there are migrants. There are people that are currently citizens of another country that would benefit the United States to bring here because they bring something of value. I'm 100% in support of legal migration that benefits the U.S. and that is people that want to come here and be American and assimilate and be part of our culture. If it takes bringing someone in here that might benefit the country, but they bring their culture here and they don't want to be American, they want to turn America into something else, then we don't need them. They're a nice to have, not a must have. We need people that want to keep this culture going, that want to be American. We need America to continue forward. We're supposed to be the beacon on a hill, the hope for the world. And if we allow the third world to invade and destroy our culture, we cannot be that anymore. The world will be worse off. The world will be much worse off without America. It will be better off with a strong America. Guys, Europe is already falling. There's a few exceptions, right? Hungary is doing fairly well. Poland is doing fairly well. But aside from the countries that are actually keeping migrants out, most of Europe is not doing so well. And I don't want to follow suit. You have here Secretary Scott Bessent from the Treasury. The Treasury is now investigating allegations of the mismanagement of the Biden admin and by the Biden admin and Governor Tim Walz for the hardworking Minnesotans' tax dollars may have been diverted to terrorist organization Al-Shabaab. Again, we are bringing people here who are claiming asylum, running away from Al-Shabaab, claiming that they are, coming here and getting federal tax money, getting assistance from the taxpayers, and then they are sending that money back overseas to the exact people who they are claiming that they're running from. Can't be allowed to continue, guys. Then you get this. Guys, the mayor there in Minneapolis, I believe, Mayor Frey here, trying to eat this food and not look like he's getting sick, but like he is, you can see here, he's playing with the food and he's chewing. He's not swallowing. He's waiting for the camera to turn off so that he can spit that food out. It's rice and beans looking at it. You don't have to chew it that much. He does not like whatever he's eating. But my favorite story for the immigration section this week, guys, a man actually won the Old State Saloon offer for a free month of beer.
Ryan Spoon, the so-called first winner of Old State Saloon's month of free beer promotion, told Idaho News 6 he filed that tip believing the man he reported worked for Mickelson's Farms.
Basically, I repeated Representative Stephanie Mickelson's, State House Representative Stephanie Mickelson. She gave public floor testimony on the floor of the Idaho State House in 2024, I believe it was, where in her own words, she said that, quote, every food processor in the state, unquote, hires illegals.
And that's not unique, by the way, to Idaho. It's one of the reasons that Tyson Foods and others are closing meat processors in Nebraska, citing an increase of labor cost. Well, that's because they've had to stop hiring illegals because that was their long-term business practice. Hire illegal immigrants for cheap labor. That's what the Republicans in the Uniparty wanted. They wanted cheap labor. Democrats in the Uniparty wanted cheap votes. It's effectively modern day slavery. They just can't, they somehow can't do business without underpaying people, we'll just say. And then you get this Linda right here. Let's listen to Linda.
Mickelson, whose family employs hundreds of workers, says she decided to speak now to let others know she thinks the saloon's promotion is despicable.
If we start targeting people based upon the color of their skin, that we really have a big problem here.
And nobody said to do that. Absolutely nobody has made a call for that. Who in the audience made a call for that? Did anyone actually call for specific targeting because of the color of someone's skin? No. Everyone is calling for the targeting of people who are here illegally. There are people in this country that are here illegally from over 100 different countries of origin. They are from all different backgrounds, races, religions, colors. It has nothing to do with skin color, Linda. It's got everything to do with, are you a legal migrant? who wants to be an American, or are you an illegal who just wants to take and extract?
Immigration attorneys warn that programs like this can lead to false accusations, targeting of Hispanic workers, and misuse of federal agencies.
Except it's not just a Hispanic thing. Like, not even a little bit. I don't understand this. Let's make everything about race, guys. It's a, are you legal or not? If you're not an illegal, then just keep going to work. Keep doing your thing. Live your life. Conservative Alternative, Sam here, is reporting out the Biden administration issued Social Security numbers to millions of illegals over the 4 years of the Biden administration.
Doge exposed our immigration asylum disaster. That was the tip of the iceberg. Now,
and Doge, well, Sam is one of the moderators of the Doge community. Check him out.
Here's the story. Doge has found that immigration gave a work authorization document to illegals just 5 months after they filed for asylum. That document allowed them to work while they waited to hear whether their asylum request had been accepted or denied. So they could work as an illegal, knowing it would take years before their case was heard. The Immigration Department mailed them a Social Security number. No interview, no proof of identity. They just put it in the mail. Here's your number. In 2021, Doge says 270,000 new aliens were issued Social Security numbers, 590,000 in 2022, 964,000 in 2023, and 2.1 million in 24, right before Biden left office.
Guys, that is almost that's like, just shy of 4 million non-citizens that were given Social Security numbers. Social Security numbers are used to access things like benefits, the things that we're always told, oh, don't worry, criminal aliens can't access federal benefits. Oh, don't worry, criminal aliens can't vote. They can't do a lot of things, guys. Don't worry about it. It's okay. Then why did we give 4 million of them Social Security numbers? Like, it just makes you wonder why, as a law-abiding citizen, why we keep just following the law, keep doing our thing. Like, why do we keep doing these things over long periods of time when the government has made an entire class of people that just don't have to follow the rules? And that's apart from the class that already existed, which was the elites. Because we already know that at least there are 2 tiers of a justice system right now. Look at the politicians, guys. The politicians that get away with damn near everything. No accountability. No arrests. No prison time. Homeland Security here with this post. This is the last immigration post, guys. Want affordable housing? I think pretty much everyone in America does right now. Help report illegal aliens in your area. This is in relation to the fact that, guys, when you have 50 or more million people that are here that are pretty much off the books, they're all living somewhere. And a lot of the time, they're living in places that are paid for by you and me. Whether it's getting assistance from the federal government or a state program or a city program, the taxpayers are footing the bill for tens of millions of criminal aliens to live here. Meanwhile, our own children can't afford to move out of the house. They can't afford to buy a home. Jobs don't pay enough to support the cost of these homes that the boomers are hanging on to. So it's not a bad idea. And if you live in Idaho, you might just get yourself beer for a month First update that we have in crime, I wanted to put a positive story here at the beginning of the section. Incredible development, guys. West Virginia National Guardsman Andrew Wolf has no blood clots, has opened both his eyes. And this is one of the 2 National Guardsmen that were shot, and one died, unfortunately. Andrew survived. So, good news. We need to keep praying for him and his family. We need to keep praying for the fallen as well and their family. We need to keep praying for our country. The humor. Yeah, guys, long road for recovery for him, but it's good to see that he is pulling through. This is the story I was referring to earlier, guys. Eric Daughtry reporting, a generational betrayal has occurred. The HUD Secretary Scott Turner has confirmed that the Democrats gave government-backed mortgages to illegal aliens, harming American citizens. Says they're now being purged. See what they have to say.
Administration, there were over 12 million illegal aliens that came over the border, straining our housing supply and making the costs go up. And so we work with Secretary Noem at DHS, as you alluded to make sure that only American citizens are living in HUD-funded housing. We also took away FHA-backed mortgages from illegal aliens.
FHA-backed mortgages being given to illegals. HUD housing being occupied by illegals. They're fixing it, but the fact that the last administration was doing it is offensive.
In the Biden administration, they turned a blind eye, but we're going to keep the law to make sure that these mortgages, which are backed by the taxpayer, go only to the American people. And lastly, we are mandating that every public housing authority give us a comprehensive account who's living in every unit in taxpayer HUD-funded housing.
Wow. Ashley Davis, another impact of that wide open border.
So they're asking for a full account of HUD housing to ensure that they are not being occupied by criminal aliens. I think that makes sense. Why? Why would we want criminal aliens living in government-funded or government-backed housing? I don't think the U.S. citizen should be on the hook to support the livelihood of a criminal. Do you? Nah. So we're gonna get into crime. The crime section, guys, is a little interesting. It's a little bit mixed this week. But Elon Musk here even points out it's very simple, guys. Repeat violent criminals must be imprisoned or they will keep harming innocent people. This is in reference to a story about we'll just say an immigrant who was a multiple rape offender who was still on the street because of soft on crime, progressive policies, restorative justice, whatever you want to call it. This individual was on the street again to attack another woman in our communities. Why should the U.S. citizen, why should the fathers, the sons, the husbands, why should we tolerate a system that empowers murderers and rapists to be let out freely onto the streets to harm our families? These judges need to go to jail. It is beyond time. Shell's saying public executions need to happen. Incarceration isn't enough. There are a lot of these people, guys. Incarceration isn't going to fix them. Why am I going to pay for someone to live 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years behind bars if they are convicted and given a life sentence without possibility of parole? Why would I care to fund them living for that long? No. There was a while where I was questioning whether I was pro capital punishment. But guys, here's the question. Is it really the more humane thing to do to let somebody just live out a life in prison after they victimized the community? Is it? Is it better for the taxpayer to fund someone's life for decades and decades? Or do we just acknowledge the fact that they will never reintegrate successfully into society and remove them permanently from society through a legal process? If we're going to keep getting judges that are going to release these people over and over and over and over back into the communities, if the legal system doesn't start managing this process soon, then an extrajudicial or an illegal system will, and that's not the future that I want, guys. We're supposed to be a nation of laws. Our laws are supposed to be there to protect the communities. But when they don't do that anymore, what are we supposed to do? Matt Van Swal here with a couple of stories in a row where people are being miscategorized, I'll say. Here's a nice white gentleman, Mr. Oscar Salazano, an illegal immigrant, deported and then came back. Yeah, he's white, right? Or what about this guy? Shot 2 people sitting in their car in North Carolina. He's also an illegal, also charged as charging documents list him as white. Interesting. Let's see, do we have any others? Oh, yeah, here's another one. 19-year-old Charlotte man beat his uncle to death with a sidewalk paver and strangled him. Also an illegal. Also on his charging documents is a white male. Dang, those white guys really got to calm down. Derek Evans with this report from Tara. No? Are you still folding laundry? Well, just go fold laundry. Don't worry about him. Just make sure he doesn't need help. Like he's not on the toilet. Okay? Okay, then just go fold clothes, please. As Tara says, guys, these white guys really got to chill. Every single one of these individuals, charging documents list them as white. Shell says, I'm sick of seeing these stories every day. It makes my blood boil. I hate you and me both, sister. Matt Van Swol, Tara, Derek, like all these people report this quite frequently. We'll cover this story here in a little bit. The pipe bomber was discovered as a white man as well. Guys, crime statistics are so skewed at this point. Anytime you get into a debate with somebody and they just try and point out crime statistics, just pull up Matt Van Swal's profile and just show them page after page after page of people that were intentionally charged as white. This is North Carolina man accused of setting a woman on fire for not getting him a beer. Looks like here's the video, but it says, as I lay there, this unbiased crime report, great account. If you're not already following it, you definitely need to be. It says, as I laid there and covered in lighter fluid, I thought to myself, at least I'm not a racist. That's when I started to feel the heat of the flames. Yeah, guys, literally just doused the lady in lighter fluid, lit her on fire. Real good guy. Wouldn't be terribly surprised if he was also charged as a white man. This is the Muhammad that we had earlier. This is a little bit out of order. I apologize. This is the one that Elon was referring to, the twice caught and released, twice convicted rapist who served no jail time for either, including a minor victim, was arrested for kidnapping, holding her hostage for days, and raping her again. So the third time, guys. Minnesota, why? Why are you allowing your women to be subjected to this, Tim? Then you got this one. Irina's Law in North Carolina finally starting to have an impact. This 18-year-old in Charlotte is held on a $5.3 million bond after being charged with 16 shootings. It is his third arrest in 3 months as an 18-year-old. And because of Arena's law, he's being held in jail instead of being released, because we know that the judges in Charlotte would love nothing more than to release this little ball of chaos, this 18-year-old Daquan Mills, back onto the street. Third arrest in 3 months, 16 shootings. I don't think he's getting any better. Just saying. As Derek points out, there should be no bond, no amount of money. Yeah, where's his parents? Michelle has a good question there. Where are his parents? Is it a single parent? Is it no parents? Like, why is it, as Spitfire down here points out, I can't believe it's taken a new law to hold repeat criminals accountable. Guys, they're breaking laws that are already on the books. And these judges don't care. These judges are just releasing this chaos back into our communities. These judges absolutely need to be held accountable for the actions of the people that they are releasing. That's it. You want to release chaos back onto my streets, then when that chaos makes things worse, you, as the judge that let them go, you should be going to prison right along with them as an accessory. It's just like anything else. If somebody commits murder while committing a felony, it's felony murder, right? The felony murder rule applies. If one of your buddies, if you're robbing a bank and one of your buddies is killed while you're committing that bank robbery, you get charged with his murder. Why is that not the case with judges who release somebody who then goes on to murder somebody? Seems like you were an inactive, or at least an inactive, if not an active participant in that crime. So it only makes sense to me to hold you accountable for it. Getting real tired of seeing these repeat offenders. Benny Johnson, in reference to this man, Mr. Andrew Ayar, this man showed up at my house where my wife and children live. He was ranting about me, went door to door in my neighborhood trying to find me, terrifying my neighbors. Believed he was armed and fled before the cops arrived. He then explicitly and publicly threatened the lives of Matt Walsh and his wife and children. Recently showed up at Cat Turd's home ranting and raving about me and Matt Walsh and Laura Loomer. Thank you to the FBI and DOJ for investigating these threats swiftly and arresting the stalker. He was clearly spiraling in a very dangerous way. So we have people that are starting to go after people in conservative media. And I wonder why. It's almost like the Democrats are using vitriolic language and trying to dehumanize us with an intent to justify when people like this take extreme action. Like the idiot who shot Charlie. Like the idiots that have tried to kill Trump. They keep using dehumanizing Nazi and fascist and other language to try and make it acceptable for these loony dingbats to attack us. We have another story just yesterday. Actually, this was posted this morning, but it says last night a vehicle approached our property and opened fire. No one was hurt. Our security team is reviewing the incident and will be relaying the report to the appropriate law enforcement. It's the price we pay for speaking out. You can see all of the top creators and Marjorie Taylor Greene. Everyone is in the comments on this post. Guys, things are escalating and it's not good. It's not good at all. It's not what I want to see in this country. We have hundreds of millions of guns in this country, and one side owns a disproportionate number of them. I don't think that the progressives understand the numbers that they're up against. So definitely don't escalate things any further, guys. But be prepared. These people are unhinged. Protect yourself any way you can. Do so legally when possible. I'm not encouraging you to go out there and do things that are illegal, but protect your families, guys. Things are definitely getting worse. January 6th pipe bomber. Turns out this is what we're being told now. This comes just weeks after the internet sleuths found who they thought it was. So after the internet sleuths found who they thought it was, suddenly out of nowhere, the government comes out and says, oh, this is it. This is him. We found him, guys. After years, they finally found him. Just happened to be a few weeks after the internet sleuths found somebody that they thought it was. It's a little bit suspicious that the internet sleuths found someone who was a Capitol police officer who now works for the CIA. And when they made that very public, suddenly the government comes forward and goes, we found our guy. Here he is. And it turns out the DOJ and the FBI had evidence for years. They have all this evidence, guys, a preponderance, if you will, a preponderance of evidence to show that this is your guy. So don't worry about the internet sleuth. Don't worry about who they found. The CIA agent. Don't worry about that person. It's not them. We found the guy. This is your guy. Trust us. Trust us, bro. So now they're telling us this young black guy, even though CNN thinks he's a white guy, an anti-Trump activist, he sued Trump, the ICE, and DHS. Extreme racial justice advocate works at his family bail bond company to free criminal aliens from ICE custody. So they're saying this is the guy. Apparently, his profile destroys the entire white supremacist insurrection bomber narrative. Yeah, Chad was in the chat last night on this one. I'm kind of with them on this. I don't know if I buy it. It's too clean. It's too neat. It's all wrapped up pretty with a bow. It's like, here you go, guys. This is it. Believe us. Trust us, bro. Guys, the government hasn't really done a whole lot to gain my trust. So I don't know if I believe you. We'll see. Haven't seen any follow-up from 0 Hour or the other internet sleuths that found the other candidate. So we'll have to keep track of this story and not lose it. Just like all the other stories go radio silent. When was the last time we saw an update about the Las Vegas shooters? Plural. Shootings. Plural. When was the last time we got an update about either of the assassination attempts on Trump? When was the last time we got an update on what's happening with the Charlie Kirk assassination? When was the last time that we had an update on January 6th? When was the last time we've had an update on any of these things, guys? I'm sure the papers are on Pam Bondi's desk right now. Getting ready for release, right? Yeah, Epstein. Where's that at? Guys, their track record sucks. Lectern guy with this one. FBI just always happens to unmask the, oh, look, this person was on our radar. They had limited social media and they acted alone. Trust us. Nothing to see here. Case closed, as Adam there points out. Another great follow, by the way. Another great January 6th guy. If you're not already following Lectern Leader, you absolutely need to be. But guys, let's repost out that live. Let's see where we're at. Sounds like it's pretty quiet in the chat. I see from Shell posting out on the Ether comms that X is having some technical challenges again tonight with the live stream. So sorry to hear that. YouTube should be doing better if you want to head on over there, or Rumble, either one. Again, those are linked in my profile. So if you go to my profile and go to patriotdad.org there, you will find the links to both my YouTube and my Rumble account. So if you want to go over there and watch the stream, I would encourage you to do so if there are technical difficulties on X. But again, if you go here, you can leave a tip. You can go to the website. You can buy me a cup of coffee. Always appreciated. Any support, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys that show up in the chat. Shell is in there real strong tonight. Karen also was in the chat earlier. Thank you very much, guys. Always appreciate your support. And I still need to get the updated stream schedule in there. So for now, if you just want to know how to make it snow outside, there's your special recipe for my 6-year-old daughter, guys. Go ahead and check it out. But yeah, post out the live stream, please. Send it out to all of your friends and family. Let's get as many people in here as we can. Shell's a little lonely in the chat, guys. Come on. Help a girl out. You got this government, the EU, the European Commission, $140 million fine on X. Ted Cruz here posts as an abomination. It's attack on a great American job creator, and it's attack on free speech of every American. Elon posting out, the EU has imposed this crazy fine, not just on X, but also on me personally, which is even more insane. Therefore, it would seem appropriate to apply our response, not just to the EU, but also to the individuals who took this action against me. He is calling for all kinds of things. He just wants the EU disbanded entirely, which I think is probably in Europe's best interest because it's one of the main reasons that they have the migrant problem that they have. Get rid of the EU, guys. Gone. You might have picked the fight with the wrong person. The richest guy on earth. Like, I don't know what you're thinking, but that's fine. Also, don't be surprised. I saw somebody recommend it. I hope Elon takes up on it, but just cut all of Europe off from Starlink and be like, you want back on Starlink? Pay money. You want me to pay you $140 million? How about you pay me $200 million? You give me some reparations, some what do they call that? When you get ordered to pay back restitution, that one. Pay me $200 million in restitution for this ridiculous fine, and then maybe I'll turn Starlink back on for Europe. Maybe. I think that's what he should do. That's my recommendation, Elon. I know you're not going to listen to this, but cut off Europe. Just cut all of them off entirely. Any member of the EU no longer has access to Starlink. That's the course of action that you should be taking. Guys, this KG meme, great. I missed this on yesterday's show. I'm sorry, KG. I'm sorry. It's really funny, though. The seditious sixth leader, guys. Yep. Yeah, it's not just Tim Walz, guys, that's retarded. Also, the left came out for Trump this week. They were trying to say, oh, look, he's unhealthy. Tim Walz was trying to divert from being called retarded a lot. Like, a lot. A lot of people called him retarded this week. Part of it, though, he came back at Trump and he was like, oh, yeah, well, what about your MRI results? What about your last physical exam results? I bet there's something wrong. You should disclose it. Here you go. Physician of the president basically saying that his abdominal imaging is perfect. All major organs appear healthy, well perfused. Everything evaluated is functional within normal limits and no acute or chronic concerns. His cardiovascular imaging is perfectly normal. No evidence of arterial narrowing, impairing blood flow, or abnormalities in the heart or major vessels. Guys, he got a clean bill of health. So, Tim Walz, you're still retarded, but Trump is okay. Also, under POTUS, see here, we're getting a new air traffic control system that they keep telling us that we'll never get.
Many of you have heard that we have an infrastructure made of copper. We have to transition to fiber. The last administration said it was going to take more than 10 years to complete the transition from copper to fiber. They had no plan to actually do it. We have already completed a third of this transition from copper to fiber. Now it's going to
that's not easy or quick. But in less than a year, a third of the way done already? Hell yeah.
Take longer for us to go from analog to digital. By the way, the rest of the world transitioned 20 years ago from analog to digital. We are just going to do that at the FAA right now, but we're buying new radios. We're going to buy new radar. By the way, those radar are going to be made in America, Mr. President.
Oh, made in America, you say. Fantastic.
This phase of the operation will be completed by the time you leave office. It's 3 years. I do need another $20 billion, Congress, to start the second phase, which is really important, and we'll try to get that done also in that 3-year time period, but we need the money.
Look at that. Phase 2 also they want to complete within the next 3 years. They just need a little more funding from Congress. Well, hey, I know where you can get a couple $1 billion. How about you take it back from the fraudsters in Minnesota? How about you pull federal funding from every progressive state that refuses, I don't know, things like this. Secretary Brooke Rollins, we're moving to halt federal funding to states who refuse to turn over SNAP data. to help root out fraud, guys. You got to remember the 21 states that did turn over data, the 29 that turned over data are the red states. The 21 that did not are blue states, and we found a lot of fraud in the red states. I can only imagine what it is in the blue states.
We had a couple of people receiving benefits in 6 states. In February of this year, we asked for all the states for the first time to turn over their data to.
I don't know if you heard that, but it says they asked and found that there was one person receiving benefits in 6 states. That's insane.
The federal government to let the USDA partner with them to root out this fraud, to make sure that those who really need food stamps are getting them, but also to ensure that the American taxpayer is protected.
That's the most important part to me. I think most people don't need them that are getting them. I think it becomes a generational welfare problem. I think it's a cultural problem. Sure, there are people that need it. I think that private charity and the churches is a better mechanism to get people fed. I don't think the federal government is the best way to do damn near anything. But when you have one person receiving benefits in 6 states, when you have 21 states that aren't going to turn over data, including California, New York, Minnesota, the blue states didn't turn over data, guys. Well, you don't want to turn over data so that we can audit it to make sure that there isn't any more fraud. Then guess what? You don't want to turn over the data? No data, no dollar. How about that? Fully support that course of action. So we'll keep following up on that one as well. You have Senator Bernie Moreno, an Ohio Republican, introducing legislation that would ban Americans from holding a dual citizenship. It says being an American citizen is an honor and a privilege. And if you want to be an American, it's all or nothing. Even current dual citizens would be required to choose between the U.S. and whichever other country they hold citizenship in. It's long overdue. If the Exclusive Citizenship Act of 2025 is signed into law, dual citizens would have 1 year to renounce their foreign citizenship. If they fail to do so, here's the key part. If you fail to renounce your foreign citizenship within that 1 year period, you will be automatically considered to have relinquished your U.S. citizenship. Yes. Yes. There should be no dual citizens. And there definitely should be no foreign dual citizens in the legislature. Looking at you, Ilhan. Looking at you, Rashida. Looking at all of you. Anyone in the legislature should be born in the United States, in my opinion. It's not currently the requirement. Probably should be. Probably wasn't made a requirement very early on because most of the people in the United States at the founding, a lot of them weren't born here. Well, if we can get birthright citizenship gone, maybe that would be another nice change. Require for the legislators, especially at the federal level, if you want to represent the people, you should be from here and of the people. Not a foreigner. This guy's patience is wearing thin as hell for this. There has been zero accountability from the prior administration. People aren't going to jail. People aren't really even being charged. They're being referred for charges. They're being referred for investigation. But guys, where's the accountability? At any level. Where is it? And I don't even care if it's against the Democrats, guys. This meme from James calls out Democrats specifically, but anybody from the government, guys. Where is the accountability from anybody from government? Gunther in the comments there, arrests must start happening. They need to, guys. If people don't start being accountable for the actions that they've taken that are against this country, people are going to lose hope in the legal system. If they haven't lost it already. Most of us have lost it mostly already, but the legal system is important. And if we lose full confidence in it, guys, it's going to get very, very bad, very, very fast. I don't want my kids to have to do that. I don't want to have to take them to school with my AR strapped on just to get the few blocks from my home to somewhere else. I don't want them to have to see dead people. I don't want them to have to see that kind of violence. I don't want that. I don't think any of us want that. But guys, if the legal system completely breaks down and there's no confidence in it, where do you think we're going to get? It's not going to be good. This was another interesting thing came out of the White House this week. Trump accounts, guys. In partnership also with, I believe it was the Dell family, adding some additional funds to this. But the idea here is if you have a child who's born between 2025 and 2028 and you are U.S. citizens, they are eligible for a $1,000 government contribution. Up to $5,000 total per year per child may be contributed to that account. Basically, it's a long-term retirement account to start when they're born. Now, if you know anything about the power of compounding interest, adding the extra 18 years or 16 years of compounding is huge. I love the idea. I think this is a much better idea. They also just need to get rid of 401k. They need to get rid of most of these retirement accounts the way they exist now. Shell says, X keeps doing X things. I have to keep closing out and coming back again like last night. I've done it about 20 times now. I appreciate your dedication. I'm sorry. I kind of wonder if I streamed directly to X. I don't know. And it's only an issue on X. You're not seeing it on YouTube. Also, U.S. forces here struck another drug boat, guys. Love to see it. So we'll just skip ahead a little bit. Drug boats going, and fisher boat gone. Bye, fishermen. 4 male narco-terrorist fishermen dead. Oh, those fishermen. Yeah, guys, I don't know. What are your thoughts on this? Are you pro-murking drug boats? Are you anti-murking drug boats? You let me know in the comments. Come on, let me know in the chat. Are you okay with this? I am. It's weird to see the progressives continue to come out in favor of the losing side on 80-20 issues nonstop this year. The Trump derangement syndrome is so strong that they will come out against anything he's for. So now they're all about drug dealers. Now they're all about terrorists. Now they're all about foreign migration. They're all about whatever. They're going to come out against K cars now. They're going to, the environmentalists are going to lose their mind. You got this one. President Trump signing is terminating the Green New Deal standards for automakers because all they do is drive up costs. Fuel economy standards gone. Tailpipe emission regulations gone. Emissions waivers to California that allowed them to regulate separately gone. Green New Scam has never been about climate change. This is Sam down here in the comments. It was just a clever excuse to expand government power and establish a command economy. Yeah, it's communism, guys. That's it. Glad to see it go. So hopefully the little stupid auto stop feature goes with it. I hate that thing. I like almost don't want to buy any new cars now because of so many of these stupid features. Oh, God, the auto stop thing is so annoying. As somebody who, like, I've been driving for, 24 years now? I'm good enough at it, guys. If I want to turn my car off at a stoplight, I'll do it. If I'm that hard up for gas money, I'll do it. Thank you. Supreme Court agreed to hear Trump's case banning birthright citizenship in the U.S. This is currently heard. It's going to be heard in February of 2026, guys. This is going to be huge.
Supreme Court just this minute, Brianna, announced it's going to take up a challenge to President Trump's order lifting birthright citizenship. You might remember on January 20th, his first day in office, he took his Sharpie pen and he said, this is a big one. And what he did was he tried to eliminate the automatic birthright citizenship.
Yes. Yes.
That all Americans have had for more than a century.
Incorrectly, in my opinion.
And what that does, it goes to the 14th Amendment of the Constitution that says all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof.
Oh, subject to the jurisdiction thereof. You tell me how the offspring of two parents who still have loyalty to a foreign country, citizenships in a foreign country, you tell me how that infant baby born on U.S. soil, you tell me how that infant is under the jurisdiction of the U.S. government. Both parents have allegiance to a foreign power. They are citizens of a foreign power, potentially an enemy. You tell me how the baby living in that home is under the jurisdiction of the U.S. federal government. Shell reports back that it is only an issue on X. Rumble and YouTube are good. Okay, so it's not a restream issue. It's not an OBS issue. It is an X problem. That is unfortunate. Maybe I'll look at generating a new stream key, and maybe I will see if I can get that reset for next stream for Monday. So thank you for letting me the last 2 days in a row. That's kind of discouraging. But yeah, guys, birthright citizenship, the whole claim that they keep making to the 14th Amendment, guys, it's not a good one. I have still not heard a good argument how that baby, born of two foreigners, probably enemies of the U.S., you tell me how two foreigners that have a baby here, how that baby is under our jurisdiction. Please, I'm waiting to hear it. I would love to hear your. We can talk about it. Bring it up in the chat. Come on, leave me a comment on the VOD. We'll go back and forth in the comments about it. But I don't see how that baby is under our jurisdiction at all. Therefore, not a U.S. citizen. Tim Walz, guys.
True. This creates danger. And I'll tell you what, in my time on this, I'd never seen this before. People driving by my house and using the R word in front of people. This is shameful.
Or is it just the truth?
And I have yet to see an elected official, a Republican elected official, say, you're right, that's shameful.
Because it's not. It's hilarious. People driving by his house just going, retarded. Like, guys, that's... You oversaw the defrauding of the U.S. taxpayer by the tune of $4 to $5 billion by people in your communities, Mr. Walz. I don't give a crap about your fees. Zero. Stop being retarded. Maybe people won't call you so. Ever considered it? I think it's hilarious, by the way. Also, the fact that in the comments you got Retard Finder calling them heroes. Elon Musk saying, this is in response to Donald Trump Jr. His comment is, they're not wrong. Trump's own kid saying, yo, bro, you're retarded. To which Retard Finder says heroes. Elon Musk says 100. Jay says America. Oh, guys. Mrs. B here. Somali's average IQ 68, yet we scammed Tim Walz for $250 million. Trump might be right again. Got the picture of Tim with the hat on, or the helmet on. Oh, guys. When you reach in your pocket and you can't fill your tampons. Oh, Retard Finder. Retard. Okay. To make slow. To delay development or progress of. Used in a sentence. Tim Walz is a retard. People in line waiting their turn to call Tim Walz a retard. Oh, guys, it just never stops. It's so good. All the memes, guys. You got the science section. They are doing validation testing. So science, SpaceX, lots of fun. They are doing validation testing. You can see here in this beautiful video demonstration of a Raptor version 3 burning for the full duration of an ascent burn. They did a bunch of different testing. It looks wonderful. As Elon Musk is commenting down here under SpaceX post, the most advanced rocket engine ever made by far. Raptor 3 and subsequent versions, implying there will be others, will make life multiplanetary and progress civilization towards Kardashev 2. Guys, these engines are just I want to pause that real quick. Check out the mock diamond on that thing. That thing is... Woo-wee. That's a nice looking engine. Guys, I love seeing the progress that they're making. Sure, they had a failure. Sure, they had a catastrophic failure of one of the fuel tanks again during cryogenic testing. No propellant involved. They're going to have setbacks, guys. They're doing a version of rapid iteration that no company has done, especially out in public ever. Sure, we see Blue Origin making a lot of progress, but you got to remember they did work behind closed doors for 13 years to get where they are. Starship's been in development for what, 5, 6? Half of that. Be patient, guys. They're doing a lot of things. You see how far that Raptor has gotten in those 5 or 6 years. It was a rat nest of tubing and nonsense. Now, very clean. Now, more powerful. Now, more efficient. Requires less mass because there isn't a heat shield or anything else anymore. Guys, the iteration and the improvements that they have done in the last 5 years is impressive. And they're still moving forward with other plans. Here's a post from SpaceX. They received approval to develop Space Launch Complex Launch Pad 37 for Starship operations at Cape Canaveral. This will give them a second Starship pad in Florida. With 3 launch pads in Florida, one of them is still Falcon. Starship will be ready to support America's national security and Artemis goals from the world premiere spaceport. Guys, still just making steps. They had failures, but you know what? They're not letting it slow them down. They're still making moves. It's good to see. Also in science and technology, guys, my favorite discussion topic. West Virginia, if you're in the chat, I apologize. It was nice to have you. Take care. God bless. Today was World Nuclear Day. This was posted on December 2nd. President Trump is leading American nuclear renaissance, guys. I am so happy to see that our government is taking nuclear power seriously again. Advanced nuclear reactors, guys, liquid metal fast reactors. These are great. If you want to make isotopes of plutonium for like space exploration, that's what you want. You also got molten salt reactors, guys. Molten salt reactors, definitely part of our future. Heat pipe reactors. This was an exotic design I hadn't seen before. We covered, I think it was a week ago. We are basically using like a computer heat pipes to move the heat away from the reactor. It's a very interesting concept. I like it. Advanced light water reactors. We have a couple of those that got built. AP1000s down at Plant Vogel. They were going to build one at VC Summer. That project got canceled, which is unfortunate. But we also have even newer light water reactor designs and high temperature gas cooled reactors. This is a good solution to get us away from steam, because when you're boiling steam, there is a huge efficiency penalty when it comes to latent heat. The latent heat of vaporization must be removed from the process to condense the water back so that pumps can pump it back into the system. You do high temperature gas cooled reactors, guys, there is no phase change. There is no latent heat waste. It's interesting. The highest power design for that right now, I think, is 250 megawatts. China's built a couple. I think we have one. Pebble bed reactors is another term for those. Really cool. Want to see more? I just want to see more designs, guys. I love to see that we are making advances. This infographic I covered last night, these are the steps, the 9 things that we need to do to make it better. Speed up reactor licensing, creating expedited pathways to license new reactor designs, establishes NRC deadline to license within 18 months. So start moving faster, NRC. Second goal, 300 gigawatts by 2050. Extends capacity to 400 by 2050, including 5 gigawatts of upgrades. Like to see it. Faster reactor testing. Launches new DOE pilot program to build and test 3 reactors by July 4th of next year. Whoo! Deploy AI and military reactors. Perfect. Got to power military bases overseas. I don't see any reason we shouldn't be using small modular reactors to do it, micro reactors to do it. Makes a lot of sense. And those greenie weenies would love it because it means less diesel fuel being burned for emergency generators. You got to explore recycling, guys. We haven't been doing fuel recycling in this country because Jimmy Carter decided it wasn't worth it. We've never done it. France does fuel reprocessing. We could learn a lot from Arriva and those companies. So we could start doing recycling. That's number 5. Step up fuel production. There are lots of new exotic fuels. You got HALEU being discussed there as well. That is up to just up to 20% of uranium enrichment. Shell says she likes it when I talk nerdy. Well, this is the section for you then. Got to bolster the U.S. workforce. Spent fuel management. Guys, we need to open Yucca Mountain. Like Harry Reid can kick rocks. We need to open Yucca Mountain. Give us a place to put all of our spent fuel. That's what it was designed for. That's what the industry paid into for. Open Yucca Mountain. Just do it. We also need to expand U.S. exports, guys. Promote nuclear trade. We don't want you to have the research and the technology know how to do it. Fine. We'll provide you the thing. You can operate it. And when you're done with it, we'll take it back. I like the idea. Means more nuclear in the world, but it means we can control some of that. I love it. Somebody's comment, can we make the NRC deadline 1.8 months instead of 18 months? I mean, that would be great, but I don't think that's going to happen. Guys, we're going to move on to culture. Missouri-based, this was talked about. Karen was unaware of this. Karen actually lives in Missouri. So Missouri-based BJC Healthcare revokes a parent's access to their kid's medical record when the kid turns 12 because it's confidential. Kids must grant written permission in order for a parent to view it, and they can make private medical decisions at 12 and revoke a parent's access at any time. No, absolutely not. These are our children, not yours. This is opening them up for all of the trans nonsense. This is opening them up for teachers and other people to get their claws into them and convince them that they need to do things to their body that a parent would never support. Because remember, guys, progressives don't have kids. They just try to take your kids. We can't let this kind of stuff fly, guys. This is absolutely unacceptable in our culture. You got this one, Derek Evans, gamer with a following on YouTube, caught 6 child predators on Roblox. Cops arrested the people and everything, but Roblox sent him a cease and desist and put out a press release saying that they were banning vigilantes.
One of the most popular games that the 764 cult is luring their victims out of.
Roblox, Minecraft, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat. Roblox is the one that I'll focus on the most because that seems like the majority of the issues right now.
I know little kids that use that game.
Guys, Roblox, do not let your kids play.
75 million active daily users. They just banned a young guy who was actually groomed and had issues for himself on Roblox.
Individual was groomed on Roblox. Took it upon themselves to be a vigilante and expose child predators trying to groom children on Roblox. And what was Roblox's response?
As a popular YouTube channel, he started catching predators on Roblox.
Ooh, he went all to catch a predator on Roblox. Great, wonderful. Catch as many as you can, right?
There were 6 arrests. I saw 6 mugshots. They came from this one guy. His name is Schlepp. Roblox sent him a cease and desist letter.
Roblox said, stop. Don't do that.
For being a vigilante on their platform.
Why do you think Roblox doesn't want somebody exposing child predators on their platform?
They did a press release saying they're banning vigilantes from Roblox.
They
Why?
want these people on there, and your children are on here, and I'm telling you, you better get them off. It
Phrasing. Get your kids off Roblox.
is going to happen to you. What parent keeps their kid on there after we're telling them this?
People
Yeah.
in positions of power where they have access to children, that's where predators end up. And then people.
Yeah, guys, do not let your kids on Roblox. If your kids are on Roblox, if your kids are on social media at all, on the internet at all, that needs to be so locked down it's not even funny. And if they won't let you lock it down, you take it away. You are the parent. You need to do what's in their best interest. You cannot let them be exposed to this nonsense. Can't. You got this one, Matt Van Swole. So glad my daughter got away from this game. Yes, Shelds, good call. Don't let your kids play that game. No Roblox. Matt Van Swole, Western North Carolina couple lost their entire home, 2 horses during the Hurricane Helene. receive a Christmas miracle. Samaritan's Purse sent hundreds of volunteers and built the couple a new home completely for free.
Hi, everybody. Hi.
After months of heartbreak, an Avery County couple who lost everything but each other to Hurricane Helene is finally back home, thanks to a 5 on Your Side report that set this extraordinary gift into motion. Keely Arthur has the story from Minneapolis, North Carolina.
You wouldn't be able to tell, but there used to be a beautiful home right here next to this beautiful creek, but it turned into a raging river during Hurricane Helene, sweeping the house away along with 2 cats, 2 horses. The owners, Bob and Edwina Tatum, alive, but without a roof over their heads for 14 months. I'm happy to report that's all over now.
Keely, oh, hey, Keely, how are you?
There's a whole lot of hope and joy in Minneapolis, North Carolina
Different Minneapolis.
right now. It's a stark contrast from September of last year.
Our horses were found 2 miles down the river drowned. The house was completely gone. I'm having, being blessed by God. And didn't have a clean pair of underwear the next month.
Getting insurance coverage. I first met the Tatums earlier this year, 5 months after Hurricane Helene, outside a community center turned makeshift law office where volunteer attorneys battled insurance denials and demanded more federal help for survivors like them. How much did insurance cover for this?
What's 0 and 0 equals what? 0?
0. Insurance covered 0.
So much heaped on us.
The story eventually caught the eye of Reverend Franklin Graham.
If it hadn't been for them coming here to Minneapolis, we may not have even known about it. So we thank WRAF.
Graham, the CEO of Samaritan's Purse, sent dozens of volunteers, some as far as Idaho, to build the Tatums a new home free of charge.
Behind all this paint and nice siding, people have written their Bible verses on the studs and on the back of the sheetrock. So this house is covered in God's word.
That is cool. That's a really cool touch.
When I first met you, you were holding a folder of all the paperwork, the denied claims. What are you holding today?
Paid in full. All that paperwork is trash can.
How does it feel to be in your home?
It's not really sunk into me yet, but it will.
Hasn't really sank in yet, but it will. Guys, this is the kind of kindness that makes America great. This is what happens when neighbors come together for each other when there is time of need. Right? This is the kind of thing that we should applaud. The fact and the really cool touch is that they put all those Bible verses and stuff on the house. And then we get to this, guys. It's Christmas season. And there's all kinds of nonsense happening. So I'm going to play you 2 different things that are happening in our world right now at Christmas markets. And then I will pose you a question about which one do you think is the better path. Eric Daughtry here. Terrifying sight. Muslims stormed the opening night of the Christmas market in Brussels, waving Palestinian flags, setting off smoke bombs, and scaring families. So, showed up in Brussels at the opening for their Christmas market. Smoke bombs, chanting, shouting, Palestinian flags, drumming. This just happened this morning. 10 dead as a car is driven into a Christmas market. Preparation crowds in France's Guadalupe Island. Legacy media is silent. Another year, another Christmas market, another car attack, running people over. So that's one way. Apparently, India's media picked it up. So that's two Christmas markets with negative stories. Then we have this. Viktor Orban's Hungary, Budapest. Look at their safe Christmas market. 0 asylum seekers. Calmness. No riot police. Just people milling about, enjoying beautifully lit, nice Christmas market. Budapest, Hungary, under the dictator Viktor Orban. We also have Nayib Bukele posting this picture. Christmas in El Salvador. Gardner's comment there. Safe streets, beautiful ceremony. So which way, Western man? Which way? Do you want a Christmas market that's terrorized by Palestinians, where Muslims are driving cars into the crowds? Or do you want one that's calm, peaceful, nice music, clean, beautiful decorations, good time for the family? Which way? Because people have to start making decisions. And those decisions are going to be, are you going to have a country or not? And here's the other side of that. Sam points out, either way, we're going to get called racist. Which way? You got Wyatt there. White people have a simple choice to make. Be conquered, enslaved, raped, and genocided while being called a racist. Or reclaim our nation and our dignity while being called a racist. Guys, if we're going to get called a racist either way, let's take the actions that restore our country to greatness. Make our communities safe again. Bring our culture back to unification. Makes sense. If I'm going to be a racist either way, guys, I choose two. Let's get our nation back. Let's get our national dignity back. Do the things that we need to do. Christmas, guys. Look at this. It's beautiful. First family Christmas photo there. White House. Things are starting to heal, guys. We're already seeing things going in the correct direction. We're saying Merry Christmas again. I have my short. That was actually a very good short. Did very well in the algorithm where I said I no longer will say Happy Holidays to people. If you say Happy Holidays to me, I'm going to tell you Merry Christmas. I don't care what you say about it. Again, if I'm going to be called a racist either way, I'm going to tell you Merry Christmas. That's just the way it is. I don't care what religion you are. I am going to say Merry Christmas. You're not going to control my speech. You're not going to shame me into compliance. I don't give a shit what you think. Merry Christmas. So, everyone out in the audience, Merry Christmas. It's coming. And remember, Christ is King. Jesus saves. Jesus also lives. All the great things, guys. Christ is King. That's all there is to it. We're going to get out of there. We're going to go into memes, guys. We have a lot of memes. Hopefully, we have a couple more memes that got sent in. But I did pull a bunch from this week, guys, and a couple from just today. Elon Musk with this one. Free speech has not been banned in the UK, and we will arrest anyone who says that it has. Oh, the irony in this statement. It would not be shocking at all to find out if this was actually what was said. I don't know if this is actually what he said. I don't think this is what he said, but this is definitely what was implied. Also in response, Polymarket has let everyone know about this fine. And then Josie, the redheaded libertarian, again, good account. If you're not following it, follow it. Is a member of the Timcast group there. Pay us $120 million for free speech, to which X says, go F yourself. Yeah, just cut them off, guys. Turn off the app, turn off Starlink, turn off anything that is any X or Elon property that's currently, any current satellite scheduled for launch on SpaceX that is a European satellite. Just give them this. Say, tough luck, find another launch provider, pay them more. Make it hurt for being that dumb. Planet of Memes with this one, guys. We don't hate the legacy media enough. This is kind of a meme, but it's also what actually happened, guys. They try to tell us that the criminal alien there was a Maryland man. They try to tell us that the George Floyd fiery riots were mostly peaceful. They try to tell us these blue barrel fishermen are actually fishermen, and they're not. Those are drug runners. And they try to convince us that Joe Biden was sharp as a tack. Man was senile as hell. Guys, we don't hate the media enough. That's why you're here anyway, isn't it? Defiant L's, Hillary got called out. Hillary said, when I was a little girl, I wrote NASA, told them I dreamed of being an astronaut. They wrote back and said that they weren't taking girls. Oh, yeah? Bet. Alexander points out, yeah, you were born in 47. NASA wasn't formed until 58, and we didn't have an astronaut in space until 62. When you were 15, you didn't write a letter to NASA when you were a little girl, and you should definitely stop drunk tweeting. Yes. Yes, please, Hillary. Also, Alexander, please let everybody know that you are not suicidal. You are perfectly happy and healthy, and you're okay. I hope Alexander is still with us. People that get on the Clintons' bad side tend to get real sad, especially around this time of year. Gunther with this one, is this Hunter Eagleman? I'm calling out his brother. That's kind of messed up, but it's still funny because this is a Bernie meme. When you forget to pay, when we go to pay, but you realize you forgot to grab your neighbor's wallet. The spending of other people's money by communists, guys. It's a great joke. Shell says, that's why we come watch you. The mainstream media sucks. I appreciate that. Thank you very much for and the struggle that you're going through to watch it on X. I very much appreciate it. Rothmus with this one, I don't feel safe in my own neighborhood. It's like, well, Linda, you literally voted for this. Like, tough luck. Like, don't bring that crap to our state. You ruined your own state. You don't like it? Well, you voted for it. So deal with the consequences. It's your fault. Yeah, this one, this was already covered. I didn't notice when we had this one earlier, but the line of people waiting to call Tim a retard. Look at the side mirror on the last vehicle here. I thought that was a nice little touch. I don't even know if that was like that on the one in the comment. Somebody put 48's face in the side mirror. Really love that. That's a nice chef's kiss touch. And then, guys, the rest of the memes pretty much all turned into the new Pepe, guys. The new memes this week are so good. Franklin ending the Fed. Thank you, Maurice, the native patriot. Follow him if you're not. Yeah, this one. Franklin memes. Oh, here's my contribution. Franklin meets a retard. Thank you. Meeting Tim Walz. Good touch. Also, Franklin, I'm sorry. Yeah, Franklin visiting Portland, getting beat up by some Antifa fascists. That's unfortunate. Runaway Franklin. Also, Franklin arresting traitors. This would be a real nice thing if this happened, but I don't see it happening, guys. I just don't see Schiff. I don't see Clinton. I don't see any of these people being held accountable. I wish they would be. I wish they would be. But thank you, West Virginia, for sending this one out. Puerto Rican. Franklin gets a new job working for DHS. Gotta love it. And then this one. Thank you, Shell, for posting this one out so that we could see it, because knowing that Franklin Sweeney's out there and Franklin has good genes, knowing these exist makes me so happy. And I know it makes the Canadians angry, which also makes me happy. So wonderful. I love to see all the Franklin memes. As Shell points out, guys, they are great. Karen looks like we have a couple of new memes. Perfect. Perfect. We have Karen memes to finish us off. Oh, perfect. Maryland dad goes fishing. Maryland dad takes his son fishing. The good old father-son fishing trips. Gotta love those. It's like now they're defending the narco terrorists. Yeah, guys, the Trump derangement syndrome has been wonderful. Every time they're taking the losing side of 80-20 issues. They're probably even closer to like 90-10 issues at this point. But yeah, this is a good one, Karen. Karen loves these memes. White man, self-defense, killed by cops and a gentle giant. That's right. The mainstream media, guys, you don't hate them enough. Also, what's this one? I'm ignorant and wrong. I'm going to be loud about it too. Karen. Oh, Karen. Karen, I love you. I love your memes. They're so good. Oh, but guys, we're going to wrap it up on YouTube. I know YouTube is one of the two platforms actually working well right now. If you are over on YouTube, please go to Rumble if you want to see the last couple of videos, because I can't play them. They have music. They're going to get the video taken down. So YouTube, I appreciate you, kind of. I hate Alphabet as a company, but hey, head on over to Rumble, go to X, go to my profile, find the Rumble link. You'll be okay. So go over to Rumble, watch the last couple things. Those on over on YouTube, go ahead and check out the profile. Go to X, go to my profile. Get the link. PatriotDad.org has the link to all my socials, all the way to support. You can also join the Patriot Dad family. You can join us in our 7-day fast that will be coming up probably just after the new year when I get back to town. I will be traveling, guys. I have not yet been able to find a solution to do this show the way that you are used to seeing it while I'm traveling. That is something I need to solve, and I need to solve it soon, because I will be traveling from December 22nd, and I will not be back until the 7th. So if I can't solve how to do this show while on the move, I don't really want to take a break that long, guys. Help me out. Give me a couple of ideas. Let me know what kind of format you want to see while I'm traveling, because it's very difficult to do this style of an OBS show from my phone. I don't know, guys. If you have any ideas, shoot me a DM. Put a little recommendation or something down in the comments. We'll figure it out together. But in the meantime, YouTube folks, bye. Oh, YouTube. Free stream, what are you doing?